Hello everybody. We're having a few technical problems today. I think everybody's using their internet for their online shopping. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do some handprint rabbits. Now these can be used for bunting. We can make hats. We're going to make all sorts, and you can even make them hold flowers because we can make the hands bendy. So what we're going to have to do first is draw around our hands and get them cut out. So you can, like I said earlier, you can either use, this is just paper, you can use cereal boxes. So I've done that with this one. This was Lloyd Grossman's creamy mushroom and white wine sauce box. So we can use absolutely anything for this project. So don't worry if you've not got the right equipment. So what we're going to do first is we're just going to draw around our hand on the paper. Now, when children do this, they sometimes make their fingers extremely skinny because instead of keeping the pen upright, they will have it at an angle and they'll go underneath their fingers. Okay, this isn't a major problem because I'll show you how to correct it. So here's my hands that I've just drawn around. Okay, so really, really simple drawing, and mine's got quite straight lines. Now, if a child does it, and it's all wibbly like that one, don't worry, because what we're going to do is we're going to just go round it and make the hand shape a lot neater, and then we can get them to cut it out. Okay, so all I'm doing is neatening up the lines, and where it looks like they've only got bones and there's nothing else on their finger, we're just going to go round it and enlarge the fingers a bit. Okay, tell them all that they've done a really good job, because they have, and I'm pretty sure they'll all get pen all over their hands, but that's okay. We've got another few weeks without going out, so no grandparents can tell us off for having pen all over the children's hands or anything else. Okay, it's all about having a bit of fun. So here we go. I've gone round them and just made them a bit more finger shape. Okay, and then we can just cut them out. Children, if you're doing this on your own, if you get your safety scissors, I keep being told I've got to tell you. So safety scissors, but I've got special IKEA scissors. Great bite. So now we're just going to cut them out. Okay, I don't really need to show you how to cut it because I'm pretty sure you're good at that. So tell you what, I will put that one down there, and I'm going to grab some I made earlier. Okay, so like we've got this one. So this is the box of Lloyd Grossman, and what we're going to do now is we're going to remove the middle finger. Okay, because this is how we're going to make the top of the rabbit's head. So I've drawn the line on there. Okay, and I'm now going to cut off that middle finger on the line. Okay. Okay, so now we've got a bit more of the shape. Now this one I'm going to make so it can hold a daffodil. Okay, here's one that a friend brought me last week and it's still looking beautiful. Right, so I'm going to put that there for a second. Okay, and today I'm hopefully not going to knock the microphone off. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to do quite a simple one with this one. So I'm just going to use felt tips. Again, I've got a mixture of things. We've even got the pipe cleaners. I've got some flowers if you want to decorate it and you want to put some flowers in its hand in a minute. Okay, so we have lots and lots of other things that we can use. I've also been into my garden and I've fetched some bits and pieces that we can use. Okay, so on this one, in the middle, because it's going to be holding something, I'm going to have the face quite high up. Okay, so I'm going to do its nose and its mouth. Okay, and I'm going to colour his nose in. There we go. And then I'm going to get my black pen. Again, you can use anything you like for these. And I'm going to draw him some eyes. Okay. And another eye. And then most rabbits have quite big teeth. So here we go. Here's our rabbit. Okay. And now you're probably wondering why he's got 4 ears. well, he's not got 4 ears, because what we're going to do is we're going to fold in the hands. Okay, so these are now the rabbit's hands. Right, if it's not in quite the right place, don't worry, because what we can do is we can just cut down that finger so it's like a really, really long little finger. Okay, so it's got a really long finger, and then we can cross it over like that. Okay, and then all we need to do is grab the flower, stick the hands down, and there's your rabbit holding your flower. Okay, so these are really, really easy to do. So you could do lots of these in a short amount of time. What we'll do is I'll cut the flower down a little bit. I might even give this one back to the friend that brought me the daffodils last week. Okay, so I'll put that bit in the bin. I'll grab my sellotape. Okay, I keep all of my sellotape on this big shoelace because otherwise I keep losing it. So I've got a big reel of sellotapes and sticky tape, double-sided tape, all sorts. The only thing is I can never find the end. So live on Facebook, I can't find the end of the sellotape. So I'm going to cut a piece off so I can get it later. Okay. So here I'm just going to stick down the 2 hands so it can hold the daffodil. There we go. Put that on there. Okay. So now we're going to make some more of these ones. We're going to make them into a row of bunting, but I want to use as many different ideas as I possibly can. Okay, so here's 2 that I made when I was asked to do this session. And what I'm going to use this time is just the paper that I've already cut out. Okay, so I've cut a few out. So what you could do tonight maybe, or this afternoon, is you could cut out a collection of different handprints in different colours so that the children can sit and colour them all in over the next few days, and then you can stick them all together as bunting. Or you could put them on fronts of cards, and you can also make the hat that we're going to do in a short while. Okay, so with this one, I'm going to go into my box and I'm going to get a pink pipe cleaner for his nose. And all I'm going to do here is I'm just going to wrap it round into a bit of a circle, and then we're going to shape it into a rabbit's nose. So what I've got there, look, is I've got a circle at the end. There we go. And so in a minute, I'll cut that piece off. Right, so now I've got the circle a bit bigger. I'm going to squash it down at the bottom, so it's a bit more of a triangle shape. Okay, and now I'm going to wrap it down and around. Okay, so we're starting to get the mouth. Okay, and now, because I've only got one side of the mouth at the moment, I'm going to wrap it round again. So I'm just tying the pipe cleaner together. Okay, and then we can make the shape like that. Okay, and then we'll remove that excess piece. Okay, and then I'm going to stick this on to the middle of the rabbit. One thing I haven't done, so I've just realised, is I haven't cut off the middle finger on my handprints. So I'm just going to remove those now. Okay, and again, because I've cut quite a few out at the same time, we can have these ready for whenever you're doing the activity. If you're following along now, cut them off as you go. Okay, so there we go. We have my rabbit hand. Okay, and I'm now going to stick on his nose. So I'm just going to use a bit of glue. And now if this doesn't work, then I've always got the sellotape as well. So we're not going to worry too much if it doesn't work the first time. Okay, so I'm going to stick his mouth on, his nose and his mouth. So there we go, we've got a nose and a mouth on our rabbit. And now I'm going to draw his teeth on. Again, we could use the pipe cleaners for this, but today I'm just going to draw on his teeth. Okay, if you've got some white paint, you can paint these white. And then for his eyes, Okay, so there's his teeth. Now I'm going to go into my box of goodies. I've got all sorts in here. I went in the garden earlier. Well, I didn't find the bottle tops in the garden. They were in the kitchen. But I've got some flowers as well. So we're going to put those onto one of the rabbits in a minute. Okay, and I've got a few leaves off of the red currant bush. Okay, so here we go. My tub of googly eyes. I've probably had these for years, and this is where I probably can't get the top off. No, I can't get the top off the googly eyes. That's fun. Right, I've got a few googly eyes in here. These are very tiny googly eyes, but they're googly eyes nevertheless. Okay. So I'm going to put a bit of glue on the bottom, on the back of the googly eyes. Okay, and then hopefully it'll stick on. Now, if my friends are watching, you can all tell me how funny I've been later. Okay, so put my googly eyes on now. And next time I do a session online, I will make sure that I can open the jar. Okay, so now we've got our rabbit with two googly eyes. Okay. So Lottie's, hello Lottie and Becky. Hello Katie. Kate, I'd love to see all your pictures from Casey and Jackson later on. If you want to post them on Facebook, then we can all have a quick look. So here we go. We've got one rabbit who's waving at us at the moment. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to make a few more rabbits of different styles, and then we can put them all together in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to have a orange rabbit this time. And we're going to use the flowers. So he's going to have a big tummy. Now, let's see if this will stick with the glue. So here we go. Right, I'm going to try and stick it on. So this one's going to have flowers on his tummy. Okay. And he's going to have a leaf. So he's going to have decorations in his hair. Okay, so here we go so far. We have a leaf and a funny tummy. And I'm going to use some of these little flowers. So you can use buttons or anything you like. Okay, so I'm going to put his flower eyes on. Okay. So it's going to be a very funny rabbit, this one. Okay, and now I'm just going to draw on his nose. And his mouth. Okay, I think this one will probably go onto a card. Okay, so here we go. We have another rabbit with hair and it's got a flowery tummy. Okay, so I'm going to put that onto one side as well. What we're going to do is we're going to keep making a few different ones. We're just going to have some fun, and then I'm going to show you how to make some other rabbits out of other bits and pieces. Now, earlier when I was in the garden, I found some leaves. Now we can stick these onto the ears. Okay, so a bit of glue on there. I'm going for another orange rabbit now. Okay, so lots of glue. This blueprint stick's quite fun because you can see exactly where you've put your glue. So there's his ears. So he's got some different coloured ones. And now I'm going to use the pastels. Like I said, we can use absolutely anything for these rabbits. So have a look around the house and the garden and see what you've got. Because it's all about learning and having a play with absolutely anything. Half the things in my house I didn't actually know I'd got until I was asked to do this session. So it's a good time to have a clear out. So I'm just going to draw all his features on this one with the oil pastels. So again, if you watched the other day, we did the oil pastels then. And these are really fun because what it could be is you could have lots of rabbits. You can have a rabbit competition in your house if you get them all cut out. And then you can just keep making as many rabbits as you can. Now, one thing I did forget to do is bring some water through. So what we'll do, I've got some water to drink, but I haven't got any water to use. So what I'm going to do is I'll put a bit of my water into the lid of the Pritt Stick, and hopefully I'll remember to wash out the lid of the Pritt Stick before I put it back on, because otherwise my Pritt Stick won't work very well. Okay, so I've got some water now. And we're going to do a blue rabbit. So I'm going to get my desk's a bit fun. It's got a lot of things on it. So now I'm going to use some red paint for his nose. Okay. Now let the children have a play. It's going to be nice and sunny this weekend, so take the arts and crafts into the garden. Let them get a bit messy. So here's a nose on this rabbit. There's two rabbits stuck together there. Okay. So I'm going to wash my brush, and I'm going to do some cartoon eyes this time. This is where I get brave, trying to do cartoon eyes upside down and with paint. Okay. I have made a silly hat as well that I'll show you later. So I'm just trying to draw on these eyes. Okay, oh, and he needs his teeth. I've also brought along some of my other rabbits that I've made. I've not cut off these fingers again. Okay, so I'm just going to cut off the middle finger on this one. I think this is my son's hand that I drew around this morning. It looks a bit small to be mine. Okay, so there we go. Cut off that. So we've now got the ears. Now, some of you might have seen this idea on Facebook the other day, and the way they did it was to hold things like the daffodil. But we're going to expand on the idea and do it a few other ways as well. Okay, so I now want a bit of pink for inside his ears. Okay, so take your time with this. You'll probably have more than 45 minutes to do yours in. Okay, so I'm going to try and get as many different techniques done as possible. Okay, so there we go. So there's another hand. So we've got 3 different ones there now. Okay. So what else did I find? We've got some sequins. Again, can I get the lid up of the jar? And the answer is yes. So on this jar, we've got a few different colour sequins, they're mainly green ones. So I'm going to use one of my hands this time. Okay, just another hand. And I think I'm going to make the whole picture using the sequins. So loads and loads of glue in the middle. Okay. And I'm going to throw a load onto the table. And I'm going to put the eyes. They don't have to be the same colour sequin. There we go, 2 little eyes. And then I'm going to put a few sequins together in the centre so that then we can build up the nose. Okay. And then I'm going to fasten some down into a line to make the mouth. Okay, so all I'm doing today is just having a play and try not to worry about what's going off on the news. It's a great way to get distracted just by getting your arts and crafts out and just trying different things. Hello, Melanie. I'd like to see everybody's game. Now, Melanie knows that I said I'd wear a silly hat, so I will put the silly hat on later because I don't want to frighten everybody off from watching the end of the video. Okay, so once we've made the hat, we can all wear them and we can all send in photos to each other. Okay, because Easter's going to be a bit different this year. We can't go to the National Trust places or go on a big organised Easter egg hunt. So let's make some other bits instead. So here we go. Yeah, so it's a little bit different. Probably not my best piece of art ever. Don't think that one actually belongs on there. But there we go, that's a bit better. Now you can see the face. Okay, so I'm going to put that one there as well. Now, one other thing that we can do, if we're making a hat or putting them onto the front of the card, we can cut off the fingers, okay, and the thumb. Okay, so now we've just got a rabbit's head. Okay, so like I said earlier, there is no right or wrong way of doing this. The only wrong way is not to have a go and not to have fun. Okay. At the moment, it's quite scary and quite lonely not knowing what we're doing. But maybe if you all make a silly Easter hat and wear it, or you can just wear some silly rabbit ears, because I had these from a Alice in Wonderland event that I did the other year, and I was trying to find Easter things before I came on, and so here we go. So I'm wearing my silly ears. So here we go. So there's another way of doing it. So that one could just go onto the front of a card. Okay. It's a bit big for my card, but if it was a child's card, then it will be a lot smaller. Okay. So a child's handprint would be smaller than my handprint. Okay, so that could go onto the front of the card. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly do a few more rabbits, and then I'm going to start to stick them together into a hat. Okay, so I'm going to have some cartoony eyes on this one. And I'm thinking I might have a look what I've got around me that I can use to make him some spiky hair. Okay. Right, so let's do his teeth. And let me have a look what I've got in my box. So I can use a pipe cleaner this time. Okay, so I'm just going to make a few little triangles with the pipe cleaner. Okay, just a few little loops so the rabbit can have a bit of cartoony hair. Okay, so let's see if I can fasten it together. Okay, now I'm just going to twist it together. So I've just got a few little tufts of hair there for the top of my rabbit. Oops, there goes my paintbrush. Okay, I'm just going to move my water out of the way before I knock it over. Right, so I'm just putting a bit of glue on the top, and he's got a bit of funny hair. No, he hasn't, because it's fallen off. Okay, let me do it with the sellotape. Now, I do understand what it's like for these live news reporters. However, I'm quite pleased that I'm not doing this live with a load of animals. I'm making my own rabbits. Okay, so there's another one to add to our collection. So what I might do now, I think I've got enough rabbits to put them into a hat, and then I can wear them for the rest of the video. And then you can all have a good giggle at me. So I'll move my sequins to the side. Okay, so now what else will I end up knocking on the floor? So I'm going to move those out of the way. I need to get some more sellotape ready. Okay, if you don't have much sellotape, because it was my son's birthday yesterday, and we actually ran out of wrapping paper. Fortunately, because I ran out of wrapping paper, I didn't run out of sellotape. But if you did run out of wrapping paper, you can always use an old pillowcase or newspaper. We're still getting quite a bit of junk mail around here, so you can always stick those together and use that as wrapping paper. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to start to turn these into a hat, a bit like a Christmas cracker crown. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I've got the little finger and I've cut it down a bit further. Okay, and now I'm going to turn it outwards. Okay, so now this is the hand that's going to join on, and I'm going to do the same with the thumb. Okay, so now what we can do is, now we've got the hand. If you had got cardboard, it would work slightly better, but if you haven't, like I haven't found much cardboard today, so in a second I'm going to show you how with just a little bit of cardboard you can make it all stiffer. So we're just going to make a band to go in the middle. Okay, and for that I'm going to use this box that I had a parcel in the other day. I've just put some little paw prints onto the hands as well, so that when you fasten them together it looks like they're holding hands and you can see their paws. Okay, so I'm just going to stretch this little finger as well. Okay, and fold that one out to the side. Okay, so here we go, another one stuck together. So now the rabbits, we're going to start to fasten the hands together like that, okay? It's all right, these rabbits aren't real and social distancing doesn't count with the rabbits, okay? So they can all be fastened together. Okay, so there's 2 fastened together. I think I'm probably going to need about 4 handprints fastened to make my crown. Or am I just thinking my head's smaller than it is? We'll find out in a minute. Okay, so again, just folding the hands outwards. Okay, and then I'm just going to stick this one on the end. So we're going to get a train, and this is how you could make the bunting as well. So if you wanted to brighten up your window for people walking past when they go looking for rainbows or sunshines, teddy bears, make it a bit more fun for other people in the community. Okay, so I'm just going to stick one more rabbit together, and then we'll see if it will fit on my head so I can look really, really silly. Okay, I've already got rabbit ears on my head, so why not have a hat on as well? Okay, so here we go, fasten this one on. Up my sellotape. Now, I'm not used to teaching on Facebook. I normally teach in the buildings at Artcore in Derby or in the local school. So having just a little table to work on, I always have a very messy table. So as my friends know, and Artcore probably know, because when people walk into the room and I'm teaching a session, there will be bits of all sorts all over the table. Okay, so here we go. My crown for Easter. Oops, it's rather big. Okay, so now it's too big. Okay, I'm going to shorten the hands. Okay, now who needs to watch things like You've Been Framed when you can all have a giggle at me? Okay, so I'm going to shorten the hands, because when I practiced this, I didn't cut the hands down, but I realised that it looked a bit better, so I didn't remeasure. So I'm going to fold the hands down. Okay. The fun of this is we all get to giggle at each other, and we can, I don't mind you giggling at me, it's fine. Right, let's try again. Okay, let's see if it fits this time. There we go. So we've got a crown, okay? So when you do your Easter egg hunt, you can all run around with a very silly hat on, okay? So I'm going to keep it on for the next 15 minutes. Okay. Now which ways have we got? We've got the pipe cleaner face on there. This one. I keep forgetting we're back to front. Right, so now I'm going to show you how to make the bunting. So we're going to have a few more rabbits. I'm going to join them into this one. Okay. I'm struggling to see. It looks like I've got a sun hat on. Okay. And then I'm going to show you how to use the milk bottles as well to make a rabbit that I'm going to stick onto a card. Okay, so I'm going to do a few more quick rabbits. Okay, and then I'll show you some of the rabbits that I've got around me as well, because I've got rabbits everywhere. Okay, what I might do this time is I found this bag upstairs. I probably had this since my children were really, really little. I mean, they're not really big now, but they're a lot bigger. So in here we've got some Easter eggs and some sheep. Okay, so these would be good to go on a card, but what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to cut this Easter egg out, and that's going to be the rabbit's nose. Okay, so I've got sellotape stuck to my scissors. Okay, so the rabbit's nose, let's have a bit of glue. And because I can't get my googly eyes open, it'll teach me not to check. I'm going to do some cartoony eyes. And the mouth. And some teeth. Okay, there we go. So my rabbit with a funny nose. Okay, and look, I've not cut off the middle finger again. So it still looks like a hand. There we go. Please do not cut off fingers before you draw around them. Okay, so make sure you cut the fingers off of the paper and not off of the person. Okay, I don't want to be the person that the hospitals come and find because I told you to cut off the fingers. Okay, so there we go. We've cut off the fingers now. So hopefully we won't have any more rabbits with 3 ears. Okay. So now, I think he needs a bit of pink inside his ear. So let's do a bit of pink on pink paper where you probably can't actually see it, but I know I've done it. Okay, so there's my funny rabbit with a funny nose. Okay, so we want these to be as silly as possible. Okay. On this one, I think I'm going to use one of my handprints because it's a bit bigger. And I'm going to use a sheep as his nose. Okay, don't know how well you can see that because the light's reflecting off it. I will put some of the pictures on of these later so you can see them a bit more closely. Okay, so a bit of blue in the middle. Oh, there's some glue but dots there. Okay, so now it's almost as if this one's got some teeth because on the bottom of the sheep he's got black legs. Okay, so I'm now going to draw my eyes again. So it might be that tonight, I know some people, when they've got the children to bed, they want to be planning what to do with the children tomorrow. So you can be making some examples, and when the children get up, you can have your silly hats on. And you can have rabbit races in the garden. It's should be really nice all day tomorrow and all day on Saturday. So try and get out in the fresh air. If you've got a garden, go on and have a pick of different bits in the garden. Okay, so here's another rabbit. Right, so I fancy doing another painting. Okay, and then I'm going to start to fasten them together. And you are right, I did drop my little paintbrush on the floor earlier, so I'm going to have to use this really big one. Because I can't reach down there. Okay, so I'm just doing his ears. Now I got quite excited this morning because we got some food delivered and there was lots of boxes. So we can make lots of things in boxes. I also found a lot of broken plant pots yesterday, so we could cut off the bottom of the plant pots and we could turn those circles into the body of a rabbit. And we can do absolutely all sorts. It's all about experimenting. Get a bit messy. Get some different flower petals and just use those. You could try and make a picture of a rabbit out of plants in the garden. Carrie did a live video the other day of some of the plants that she'd got in her garden and she was arranging them to make a piece of art, so you could do that. So there's countless different ways of trying to make rabbits without spending any money, and if you don't have the art materials at home, you can just keep experimenting with plants and twigs. She made a lovely wreath to go on your door, and just doing little things like that to brighten up the neighbourhood, and everybody will appreciate it. Okay, so, and if you really want to on Sunday, when it's Easter Sunday, you can go for a walk around town with your lovely Easter bonnet on. Oops, I'm now drawing, because I'm drawing upside down. I've drawn the nose upside down, but that's okay. Okay, so we've got another rabbit. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this into some bunting. And then we will use the bottle lids to make a little rabbit on a card. So again, with these, we need to cut down the little finger. Okay. And then we can stick them together. We're just going to stick them together exactly the same way that we did with my lovely hat. Okay. Now, some of the children that come to the sessions at Artcore, you know that I don't mind looking silly. Okay, so knowing me, I probably will wear this hat on Sunday. Okay, but unfortunately I can't go out for a walk, so not many people will see me. Okay, so now we're going to join the hands together. Now, one thing I did on these two that are made of cardboard is I kept the thumbs pointing upwards, and that way they're holding the hands up higher. So you can do it, there's lots of different ways again that you can do it. My desk is getting very messy. Okay, so I need to have a little bit more space so I can put it into a row. Can't put the lid on that because I've got water in it. Okay, so the sellotape. Right, so we're going to just folding the little finger down again so that we can stick it on. Now, the other thing that you could do with these, if you're putting them in your window, is you could have them on both sides so that when you're inside you can see the bunting, and on the outside of the window you can also see it. Okay, so we're just going to get the bunting all fastened together now. So on this one I've got my son's handprint and I've got my own handprint. So we've got big ones and little ones. Okay, so if the whole family joins in and you've got some really little children, then you can have a montage of Easter bunnies, or big ones and small ones. Okay, my daughter's handprints are the same size as mine now, so you can't really do it that way. So look, we're now getting the bunting for in your window. Okay, so if you do make any of this bunting, send me a picture. Okay, cheer me up as well. Let's all have a bit of fun. I'm now looking for the sellotape and it stuck itself to the table. Now I know some other people have tried to do live videos, and I was talking to somebody earlier about it. And now you can see that it doesn't always go to plan. So here we go. So now I'm going to stick some more little fingers together. You will have a lot more time than me. Okay, I might redo this, or I might just leave it in the window for everybody to see the work I've done today. Okay, so it's now going over the edge. And that's falling off. Okay, so my friend should have been getting married this week, so I hope that she's going to make some Easter bunting to make her smile, because I know it's not very nice that weddings have been cancelled and other things like that, but soon it'll all be back on and we'll be able to do the wedding. Okay, so if you want some bunting like this for your wedding, I can arrange it, or we could make some better bunting. We can do both. Okay, you can even have this bunting at your wedding if you would like to. It's done by a professional artist. I could sell it for thousands, I'm sure. But we're just going to stick this one together, and then you will be able to see how I've made my bunting. And then I'll show you some of the other rabbits that I've got around me, because I make lots and lots of rabbits and teddy bears. And for some reason, when I got the rabbits together, the elephant decided to come down with us as well. So he didn't want to be left out. So the elephants joined me. Now, when things are back to normal, Derby Recycling Centre is a great place that you can go to, and you can pick up loads of art materials without spending much money. And they have paper as well. So here's our bunting. Okay, so here's part of it. Okay, and we're just going to keep going across. There we go, look, lots of bunting. So you can decorate your whole house with different ideas. Okay. Oh, I could have fastened my garden bunting on as well. I'll add that one in a second. Okay, I'm just checking on the time. Now, what I'm going to do quickly, if I can find my other bottle top. It didn't run away. That's a good start. Okay, so with the bottle tops, I've managed to find two green bottle tops. One's bigger than the other. Okay. So what I'm going to do is find my PVA, my Britstick. There it is. It's hiding. So I'm going to make a very quick, because I'm aware of the time, rabbit out of bottle tops. Okay. So here we go. So there's the rabbit's body. And I haven't got a green pipe cleaner. So I'm going to make some ears. Okay. Again, take your time with this. I haven't I've only got a short slot. Okay, so here's the ears. Okay, and I'm going to wrap that round in the middle. And there's my ears. So I'm just going to cut those off. Okay. So when you have a look later at what stuff you've got, just try and use anything. Okay. And then if I could get my jar open, whoops, I could put some googly eyes in the middle because I've got some tiny googly eyes. But it won't open. So there we go. So there's my rabbit, Easter rabbit. Okay. So here we go. Now, when I started making teddy bears, they were a bit more floppy than they are now. So this is one of my first rabbits that I made. And now one of my favourite books is Guess How Much I Love You. So we need a big nut brown hare as well. So here he is. Here's big nut brown hare and little nut brown hare. Okay, so these ones I made about 3 years ago. Okay, so they're a bit floppy now and they're not, well, they're still lovely, but now I can make them so the arms aren't like cucumbers. Okay, so here's one that I made out of an old coat. Okay, so here's a little bunny rabbit. And going on Guess How Much I Love You one, we've got this rabbit as well. He's got a floppy ear. Okay, what else have we got? This is the first rabbit teddy bear that I was given. So this is from my mum and dad when I was little. Okay, and we've got my silly hat that I tried to make that has been made out of the handprint. So this is the Mad Hatter's hat from Alice in Wonderland, and I've just put a scrap of blue fabric around the edge. It's got a bit squashed in my loft. Okay, and some decorated eggs. And then on the top, this is one of the handprints. Okay, so if I put my hand there, you could see where the bits are missing. Okay, and then I've just fastened it on with a few tiny stitches. Okay, and again, this was from my Lloyd Grossman dinner. Okay, so I have used everything and anything. Okay, so when you're eating your Easter eggs, you can use the cardboard off the box to make more Easter rabbit handprints, or you could turn it into triangles to make the bunting. You could make more of the handprints. You can use everything. And one of the other things that you can use out of your box is you can use the foil. And so you can screw the foil up on around the Easter egg, and then you can stick that on as the nose. You can turn it inside out so you get the shiny bit. And you've got endless opportunities to do with your Easter egg wrappers. Okay, so this year, I know we're all stuck in the house, but hopefully it won't be too much longer for most people. Okay, so have a good Easter, and I hope to see you soon, and I hope you enjoyed today. Stay safe and stay home. Bye.